Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Akil Stokes. If you are brand new to the podcast, thank you for joining. Make sure you take the 10 episode challenge, meaning you go back and listen to 10 previous episodes of the Trading Coach Podcast before you place judgment. I think you'll see it's a pretty fun show. We cover a lot of topics. Obviously, it's centered around trading, but more so self-development, business development, entrepreneurial exercises, and just hopefully this is a piece of content that will just motivate you, leave you inspired, and really empower you to be the best that you can be in life. Episodes come out 3 days a week, and it's available on every podcasting and music streaming app you can think of, as well as YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're on there, give this video a like, and if you're on iTunes, please give it a rating and review. That is the best thing you can do to help the show. Today, I want to share with you an email I just read, and it's about trading and really about financial responsibility as well. And the email starts like this. It says, "Hey coach." So it's one of the traders that I mentor over at tier1trading.com. He says, "Hey coach, I'm in some need of advice as I really have no one else to ask but you. I'll try to keep this brief. I know you probably don't feel like reading a book as you read this, but a little backstory first. I am 23. I'll be 24 soon. I quit my part-time job this past February to pursue trading full-time and become a consistently profitable trader." Sounds familiar. "I currently have about blank saved up, and I also have about blank in my live trading account." Now, the trader actually says the numbers, but I'm going to actually share with you this trader's YouTube page, so you're going to know who this person is, and I don't like giving out personal information like that. I get asked the question all the time, "Hey, Akil, how much do you make a week? How much do you make a month? Akil, are you a millionaire?" And my answer is always this: if I were a millionaire, first of all, I wouldn't tell you, but only 3 people would know. Me, my accountant, and my wife. So if I were a millionaire, I would never tell you I was a millionaire, just because I believe that finances, and they are personal. Finances, religion, politics, those are all personal things, and they don't necessarily have to be there in front of the public. Also a little paranoid. You guys know me, grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where if you have money, someone comes and takes your money. So never been a fan of being flashy or anything like that. But the trader has a fair amount saved up, and he has a smaller amount, maybe about a fifth, about a quarter of that in his live trading account. And he says, "Currently, I'm living off of that right now with no income at all." Now, you guys may be asking yourself, how can someone live with no income at all? And he says, "With me being great with finances, I have approximately 11 months left before my savings hit zero." Now, I want to stop right here because this is very important, right? Understand that the majority of the people you run into are not financially responsible, right? They are not financially responsible. They are scared of money. They don't know how money works. They don't know how to make money work for them. The mindset is, as soon as I get it, I spend it, right? I got it in. I have to spend all of it, like it's some type of disease you got to get rid of. Or I'm going to spend it before I get paid. I'm going to spend it in advance, and then when I get paid, I'll just pay off the credit card. And that's one of the reasons we're so, we run into so many financial issues here in the world. Credit card companies love it, but for everyone else, it's pretty bad. And what I like about this trader is he actually has a YouTube channel, and I'll throw the link in the show notes, of some videos just kind of being open about his finances and how he's become financially responsible. I'll share with you some of the titles. The latest one, actually 4 days ago from recording this, is called "My Monthly Expenses for June 2009. There's one called "Why I Gave Up eBay," "Why I Won't Get Married Until I'm at least 28, my expenses for the month of May, thinking I wanted riches fast, let's be real, see if there's any more, dealing with haters, there's some analysis on here, here's a good one, this is the one that I remember, how I only spent $19,000 $419.99 in 2018. So if you're someone out there that feels like you don't necessarily have a grasp of your finances and maybe you can use some advice on how to become financially responsible, not only do I recommend watching this trader's video, but he's on Instagram. Reach out and ask for advice. And I won't put his name out there because I haven't asked him yet if I can include him in this podcast. But for you guys that want to dig deeper, I'm sure he won't care about the promotion. I'll put a link to his YouTube, since that is public, in the show notes below. But it's a pretty good channel, trust me. Pretty good channel. And it gives you some idea on how this trader can operate or live, how this person can live with no income and still say, hey, I'm good for the next 11 months. And it's not it's not a massive amount of money he's living off of. He's not living off of, $500,000 or anything like that. But anyway, going back to the email, he says, he just sent me an email back. Give me a second. I just responded to this. Alrighty. Thanks, advice. Thanks. Great advice, coach. All right. Perfect. He says, I've been learning how to trade for 2.5 years, and I predict that I'm just over the hump to finally becoming consistently profitable. But I'm like you. I need about 3 months of consistency before I can actually call myself a consistently profitable trader. I have had 1 month of that yet. I have not had 1 month of that yet. So the issue and dilemma that I'm having is I absolutely hate seeing my savings disappear. I have been thinking about getting a part-time job for the last couple of months, but I also don't want to work for someone else. I also fear that if I were to get a part-time job, it would interfere with my trading, and it would take me that much longer to become a consistently profitable trader. I'm not sure what to do. I am at a crossroads, wondering if you had any advice or you can help me with this problem. So I asked you guys first, and I do this in the Q&A all the time, right? What do you guys think in that situation? The trader's been trading for a while. They have about 11 months left before they run out of finances. However, they hate seeing that savings disappear. Should they get a part-time job to help with the savings, but potentially hurt their trading? Imagine yourself being right. You feel like you're close to the hump, but then you kind of take energy and focus away from something that can push that success mark a little bit longer down the road. Should they do that? Or should they kind of grit their teeth and just keep fighting through it? You're close. It could be any day now, any month now, I guess. Keep grinding it out and make the call on a part-time job later. What do you guys think? It's a long swig, right? And I should have said this below. Feel free to type it in the comment section below here on YouTube, or feel free to shoot me a message on social media about what you're thinking. Make sure you give me some reference of what the question was, because doing 3 episodes a week, I tend to forget. But I responded to the trader. Well, and here's it. This is interesting because I was in the same situation. I was in the same situation where I had quit my jobs and I dedicated my full focus to trading, and it was beneficial because I had nothing else to worry about. Right? I didn't have to worry about showing up to work. I didn't have to worry about taking any work home. I can fully focus on trading. When I was fully focused on trading, when I'm fully focused on anything, it's a very dangerous thing. And I was able to become successful because of it. But there was a time where I felt exactly like this trader, where I was in a situation where I was like, man, I feel like I should be there. I've been doing this for a while. I'm almost there, but I'm not really there. And I'm looking at my savings and they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that kind of wears on you. And I was literally at the point where I started refreshing my resume and getting ready to mail them out and before it started to click. And it's a tough one because I don't think you never want to take focus away from what you're doing, especially when you've come this far, you've dedicated yourself this much. But on the other hand, if it is bothersome to you to see money not bleed out of your trading account necessarily, But to see money bleed out of your savings account, that can have a negative effect on your trading, right? Because money is one of those emotional pulls, right? I mentioned before, money, politics, religion. Those are the three things. If you want to get someone fired up, right, start a conversation about that. And money is a really big emotional trigger, especially if you're someone who is as financially responsible as this trader. It means a lot. It's not like, hey, I left $5 on the table, it's okay. No, it's like every dollar counts, no matter how wealthy you are. So seeing money bleed out of your account with it not coming back in could be troublesome. And the worry is that psychological element can make its way over to trading, where now, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to just go through the process and the outcome will come when it comes. I don't know when I'm going to be successful, but I know I'm going to be successful. We're just going to let it happen. Now you start becoming in a situation where you try to force it, where now it's like the countdown clock is on. Man, I got 11 months. I have to be successful now. Oh no, I only have 8 months left. I have to be successful. And then just like a trader who's in a drawdown, who perhaps is trading full time before they should be, and they've got bills to pay, and if they don't return a certain amount by the end of the month, those bills aren't getting paid, you're going to start forcing trades. You're going to start doing stuff that you're not supposed to in the market, and that's going to be a massive step back. So it's interesting. My advice to the trader was this. I said, I think it would be a good idea to get a part-time job, but ideally it's a part-time job that fits around your trading. So you look at your trading schedule. You say, this is when this trader day trades with me. So this is when I day trade. This is when I do my swing trading analysis. These are the hours that I want to keep to dedicate on trading. And then when looking for a part-time job, look for a job with flexible hours. Look for a job that you can work at night. Maybe not like third shift because you got to wake up and day trade, but look for something that you can do in the evening. Go just coming to mind. I always say McDonald's, right? Because McDonald's is always hiring. Look for a McDonald's. Look for a Walmart. Something in retail where you can work like a 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock shift. And yes, it's going to take some time away from your day, which in a sense is time away from your trading, because I know how dedicated this trader is. He's probably filling it up with back testing and just working on the skill of trading. But it doesn't necessarily interfere with the actual application of trading. It doesn't interfere with the live room hours, which are crucial to accelerating that learning curve. It doesn't interfere with, say, the top-down analysis in the morning, where this trader is setting his day up to understand and know what trading ideas should be on his radar for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. And the benefit of it is that it will bring in a check. And there's actually two benefits of doing that. One, bringing in a check, that check can go directly into your savings, into this trader's savings, and really make up for the normal monthly expenses. And really, honestly speaking, again, this trader happens to be very, very, very financially responsible. But for maybe someone that isn't, what you do is you keep track of your monthly expenses, and you can actually set up your hours so you work just enough to do it, right? If you're not interested in necessarily saving, you may say, hey, I only need to work 10 hours a week to get what I need to pay for, food and shelter. And you can just say, hey, work a couple days a week if you want. Or of course, you can work as much as you want and put more into your savings, and then have that eventually go into your trading account. But having money come in it's a safety net. It's going to help you psychologically, because now there's enough things you need to worry about in trading, enough things you need to worry about in life. Now you don't need to worry about money. That money isn't, in a sense, bleeding out of your savings account. It's holding steady, and that's going to allow you to really treat your trading the way it's supposed to be. You're not treating it as, I have to make money, I need to do this right away with urgency. It's, hey, I'm going to do the right thing, I'm going to follow the right steps, and I trust that if I follow the right steps, the right result is going to be there, and that's big. And even going back to, even if you are making, say, a surplus, you're making more money than what you need, you're banking on the idea that, it's not if I become successful, it's when I become successful. And the part-time job, is just part-time, right? For, let's say your eventual plan is, and everyone's different, but your eventual plan is to trade full-time with a massive amount of capital, or maybe the part-time job becomes trading education, or whatever else you desire from an entrepreneurial standpoint. What you're doing is while you're working on your skill, you're saving the rest of that money, and that rest of that money can be used for your startup, whether it's a different business or whether it's funding the account with more than you originally planned. And if you fund the account with more than you originally planned, you can trade a bigger position size. Your return on investment generates more, it has a greater monetary value. Let's put it that way. So I don't think there's any negative in having a part-time job. Yes, it takes a little bit of the focus away from your trading, but if you can, if you have a set trading schedule, and especially if you're at the point right now where you've gone through a lot of the hard work, a lot of the, you've gone through the courses, you're through the learning process. Learning process never ends, but you're through the kind of the course learning process. You're through the back testing, and now it's just more application in the market, kind of getting your feet wet in the live market. You should be able to open up some time for that part-time job, and I think the psychological benefits, I think they're going to help more than just kind of putting yourself at risk of really beginning to force trades and see that countdown and that bank account tick down and you potentially not being where you want to be at. So I don't know. Those are my initial thoughts. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on a podcasting or music streaming app, you can head over to YouTube and type a comment. I always think I love having these community conversations because this is just my advice. But there are many different angles, many different views out there. And maybe one of you has a view or personal experience that you'd like to share that is different from mine, or maybe even backs mine up, and it just gives different perspectives. And that way, not only can this trader really get different views and that help him make the decision that's right for him, but whenever you ask a question, you're not the only one going through it. So I'm sure there are hundreds of people listening to this podcast that are in a very similar situation, if not the exact same situation, and they'd love to hear the different views as well. So that's part of being this Trading Coach podcast community. You're not just a listener. You are someone that provides content. You are someone that provides really feedback so that we can all grow together. All right. Hope you guys enjoy. And until next time, plan your trade your plan. Take care.